Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, guys. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good today. It's been a pretty good day. The wind's finally dying down here. It seemed like we had a nice day, but oh man, the wind was wicked, and my hair kind of shows it because I was outside. I've been doing a little stuff outside. I actually got into the garden today and started digging in a little bit of dirt. That makes me excited. I love thinking about getting into the garden and growing our own stuff and being able to know what goes into my food and then bring it into the house and eat it. So guys, if you're jumping on here with me live, if you're catching a red live up in the corner, just type live in the comments. Let me know that you're with me. I'd love to know who out there is watching this evening. If you're watching, that's great. You can type live. Let me know where you're watching from if you'd like to do that too. And if you're catching me later on, it'll probably say was live up there. And that's great. Just type replay in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. My name's Jan. I live in Southeast Nebraska, and I love sharing our low carb lifestyle and just a lot of different things like that. Okay. Just our life in general, really. But Dave and I have been on a low carb journey now for over 6 years. We kind of started with some great supplements and could then transition, because without those carb cravings and stuff that the supplements helped us with, we transitioned into this lifestyle. So it's been really, really great for us. And I share a lot of information, guys, about, I share tips, recipes, a lot of recipes, other ideas, different things. If you caught my live yesterday, I'm kind of wanting to do a water challenge, which, you know, water is so important to our bodies. And so it's a health type thing. I'm wanting to do a water challenge over in that group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. Probably not going to get it started right away. I've got some planning to do on that. But stick with me. If you'd like to be in that water challenge, guys, you need to be in my group, okay? It's a separate page on Facebook. It's called Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. And you can search that in the search bar in Facebook and go in there, request to join. And as the time draws near here to get that water challenge going, I'm going to try to prep a bunch of stuff this week, and maybe we can get it started next week. So anyway, if you want to be in something like that, I'm going to really focus on water and what it does for our body, and, you know, being able to track how much water we take in a day and what our bodies should have taken in a day, okay? So if you're not in my group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave, search it up there or drop group in the comments, and I will get a link to you in the comments then with that you can go over and join that up. But I have been sharing some stuff in there, and I've had a few people kind of talking about, you know, I can't afford it. I don't, you know, it's too expensive to buy all that stuff. Hey, hi, Yvonne. How are ya? So I wanted to touch base just a little bit here because, guys, I know what it's like, you know, to pinch pennies. We definitely do not just run to the store and buy lobster and crab legs and all of that stuff. Those are special treats. But on the day-to-day things, I pinch as many pennies as I can. I'm not going to lie. So, you know, I want to talk about what you can do, a few things that you can do if you're doing low carb or even keto, without breaking the bank, okay? Sometimes I think we see things and, you know, they look expensive, and maybe they are more so expensive, but I'm going to give you guys just a few tips here about things that you can do to make meals healthier without breaking the bank, okay? So like I said, guys, if you're jumping on here with me live, if you're catching that red live, please just type live in the comments. Now, I've made some notes, guys, because I want to make sure that I get everything hit here. So if you see me looking down, going over my notes, I just want to make darn sure that I'm giving you all the information that I have written down, because I don't want to miss something, okay? So I feel like one of the number one things that help us save money in this lifestyle is planning ahead and using a little creativity when you're planning ahead, okay? You want to buy the least expensive stuff that are staples, yet you want them to be nutritional most of all, but versatile in that. Okay, so I'm going to talk on this just a little bit. Two of the most cost-effective things that you can buy that are very versatile for us, our top things that we buy for protein are eggs and chicken. Okay. I know egg prices have gone up, but if you guys really, really stop and think about the cost of eggs as compared to some of the other proteins that you can buy, yes, they're more expensive. They are coming down. I am seeing the price of them coming down. But they're very, very versatile. Okay. Eggs, they are power packed with nutrients. Okay. Power packed. I can't stress enough of that. And eggs can be as simple as an omelet with some veggies thrown in, fried eggs with maybe a side of some type of vegetable, or a little bit of, some berries or something like that. They can be really, really simple, or you can go to the extreme of quiche. Quiche is a good egg thing. Frittatas, okay? Those types of things. I mean, eggs are very versatile. You can do a lot of things with them, okay? Chicken also tends to be down on that lower cost stuff. And there's so many different cuts of chicken. I mean, you've got a whole chicken. You've got the broke down chicken. You've got chicken, what do I want to say? Chicken with the bone in it, chicken without the bone in it. Some of the stuff can be expensive. I'm not going to lie, guys. Eating as a whole is expensive. What do I think of dried powder eggs? I've never used them for eggs. I do use them in some of my recipes. I use an egg protein. I've never tried powdered eggs. I don't know what's in them. I don't know what the cost comparison is at all. So I'm sorry, Tara. I can't answer that honestly because I've never looked at dried or powdered eggs. But I'm going to touch on the egg situation here just a little bit today. $21.99 for 3 dozen. What does that break down to? I'm not even really sure. $7 a dozen. That is pretty high. I'm not going to lie, guys, but when you stop and think about it, how many meals do you get out of a dozen eggs? Okay. And I know the cost is coming down. I maybe not where you are right now, but I was at Aldi yesterday in Lincoln, and I think they dropped about 40 cents a dozen. I know 40 cents isn't much, but hey, if you go look at some of the other proteins, the steaks, the seafood, and I don't want to turn this into a fight about the cost of eggs, guys, because I don't care what protein you're eating out there. Most of them are costly, okay? But chicken, like I was saying, chicken has a lot of versatility because, you can use single pieces, you can have bone in, you can have bone out, you can do the whole thing, you can, and there's so many ways to fix chicken. I mean, so many ways to prepare it. Chicken is very versatile because we use it anywhere from, like chicken tacos, chicken enchiladas, to just pan frying or baking, and smoked it. I mean, chicken is very, very versatile. I just did a baked sweet and sour chicken that was really, really good. You just chop it up, and like I said, chicken's very versatile. So that's kind of my point with that, okay? If you live somewhere coastally and fish and some of those things are cheaper yet, that's, I guess, my point. Choose the proteins where you live that are the least expensive, okay? And that's what you're going to be looking for. Okay, does that make sense? I just want to say that, like here in the Midwest, chicken, beef, eggs, pork, if you eat pork, are all pretty readily available. Seafoods, not so much for us, okay? And you have to stop and think. There's bison, there's all kinds of things out there that you could be eating as a protein. So look for the ones that are the lower cost of where you live, okay? Now, I'm going to move on from the proteins to like our sides, okay? What we usually do is the produce that we buy, we try to buy what's in season, okay? So the cost of the vegetables that are grown near you or something like that, that don't have to be imported long distances in, are typically cheaper, okay? Something else you can think about too, it's warming up here in Nebraska now. The farmers markets are going to start kicking up. If you want to support small businesses, farmers markets are a great place to go find that in-season produce, okay? That's something that we do. We look for the stuff that's in season, okay? If you can't do something like that, frozen is a great option, okay? Because frozen, the nutrition is basically still there like the fresh stuff, okay? When things are frozen, they are picked at their peak of freshness, okay? That is as ripe as that what do I want to say? That green bean or that okra or whatever. It is picked when it is at its ripest. It's put in to whatever and then flash frozen. So it retains the nutrition. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for things that are going to retain, that you have, that are nutritious, okay? I said that earlier. Nutritious yet versatile, okay? So guys, if you're getting on here with me live, I'd love it if you'd let me know that you're on here. If you've got some other ideas, please let me know. I like to hear other things, okay? So that's kind of the basis of what we do. Now, berries, low carb fruits, I'm not going to lie, guys. We do some apples occasionally, but very occasionally. Dave actually walked by the nectarines yesterday and he's like, they look good, but and I said, once in a while isn't going to kill you. So if you have that thing or whatever, hey, Karen, how are you? So fruits are kind of those things that it's like we limit them, but we don't cut them out, okay? Berries are good, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries. We do a lot of the berries, okay? So, but those things, strawberries here real soon will be coming into season in Nebraska, so the price will drop way down. We'll eat more strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, all those kinds of things will be coming into season, okay? So, now, when you're shopping, hi Sonia, when you're shopping, I always call it kind of shop strategically. I've shopped a lot of different stores, okay? Some of those stores don't have the highest quality of especially produce. So when it comes to produce, and this is one reason I do not shop the put in your order and just pick it up at the door, because I don't want anybody else picking out my produce at all, okay? I want to see it, I want to feel it, I want to smell it, I want to do all the alls that I'm going to get my fresh produce, okay? So shop strategically. That's one reason I do love Aldi. I feel like their quality of produce is good, and the price is typically a little lower than a lot of the other places. Now, I know not everybody has that, but of your stores that you have access to, shop the ones that have the better prices. And sometimes you'll find a better price of I call them the outer aisles at one store and the inner aisles in another store. Does that make sense? Okay. So just shop strategically. Okay. Something else I do too is buy bulk. Okay. When I can buy bulk, non-perishables in bulk, things that we use, like coconut oils, olive oils. I do buy frozen in bulk, whether that be like the proteins like fish and stuff like that. I have done lives on how to choose fish, being wild caught, stuff like that. Those types of things. If it's an item that you use a lot of, like almond flour. Almond flour is not exactly non-perishable, but yet it is something that I can buy bulk at the bulk stores, okay? Nuts, seeds, those types of things. Now, I don't eat a ton of those, but it's something you can do, okay? So, buy bulk when you can. And if it's something that maybe is canned, canned meats, I do buy bulk tuna in the can, those types of things. Those are okay to buy bulk too. So that's how you want to, that's another way you're going to keep your prices down, okay? Here's one of the big kickers that I typically find though. If you have a store that you shop most of the time, find out when their sales start, okay? Watch their sale ads. And I did this habitually when Dave and I were very first married. We lived in a very small town. There was just a couple of grocery stores, and I shopped their sales. We ate only what was on sale for the week that I shopped. I went in the day that the sale started so that I could get there when they still had everything in stock that was on sale, and I shopped the sales. I made my menu out for the week, This was before we bought a beef and put it in our freezer and all that kind of stuff. Everything that was on sale that week was what we were eating for protein or whatever, that's the way I planned everything. I don't follow that quite as much now because honestly, I don't get the sale ads most of the time until it's too late. So that's that. But something else you can think about too, though, is while you're shopping store brands, guys, you don't have to buy the name brand. Just because you see a commercial on it on TV doesn't mean that you have to buy that. And we are really good about that. I buy the store brands, except for a few things that I'm kind of picky about. Most of the time, the store brands are just as good, sometimes better than the other stuff. So, like I said, we do that. So that's another way you can cut costs, okay? Hey, Kathy, how are you? So, like I said, I plan my meals based on the sales or, something like that. So, now, like I was saying, if you're listening to everything I'm saying, it's planning, okay? Meal planning, and even if you have to prep some of that stuff, like Hy-Vee does have great produce. Yes, they do. I love Hy-Vee for that. I love Hy-Vee for their health aisles also. I love going up and down their health aisles because I'm always looking for new things that have come out that are keto or low carb. Hey, Linda. So I do love Hy-Vee. If you have a Hy-Vee, they are a great place to shop. I'm not going to lie. Aldi is closer to my house and I happen to love them. So I do Hy-Vee once in a while though, still. So anyway, but plan the meals out, guys, because with a plan, for however many days you want. We usually do a week. My son and daughter-in-law do 2-week menus. They go to the grocery store only every 2 weeks. That's a huge money saver, because if you are like most people and you're in that store every day, more than likely you're grabbing more than what you went in there for, okay? So the less trips you can make to the store is a huge money saver, because you don't throw extra stuff in your cart. Okay, so, and then if you have to prep something, you know, like if something needs to come out of the freezer to be thawed and stuff like that, all that is preparation. And if you're planned and prepared, it's going to keep you on track for that low carb lifestyle, even a little bit more. Oh, awesome. I love it, Kathy. Yes, I'm getting the itch. I was out in the garden earlier and got my hands all dirty in the dirt. I was excited. So, but that helps keep you on track, because if something goes awry, you've planned ahead. Okay. So you've planned ahead, and it's like, okay, I got this. I still got this. I can do this. So anyway, and then I think one of the biggest things, and I talk about this, guys, even if you're just trying to switch and you are doing your menus for, say, a week at a time. Hey, hi, Carol. Start with just 1 or 2 things. All of these tips that I've given you, maybe you want to just start with 1 or 2 so you don't get overwhelmed, okay? When you get really good at those 1 or 2, and this can be as far as making a menu out too. Maybe you just want to throw in 1 or 2 low-carb meals, okay? And when you get that down and it's like, hey, yeah, I can do this, then you stack on 1 more thing, because what you've done is you've made those 1 or 2 things a habit, and it's good. So then you can go to 3, and then you stack on 4. And then before you know it, guys, you're doing this just as you're going to get on here and you're going to do better than I am. So that's my advice, guys. That's how, like I said, the other day, I kind of made a post about butter. Okay. And I'm just going to use this for an example, but butter that's made here in the United States, if you compare it to like the Irish butter is very, very rich. It's very yellow. The butter that we get in the sticks here are pale, okay? And the reason behind all of that is what the cattle are fed, how they are, and I don't mean how they're cared for, but it's the diet that they're given, okay? There are things that are allowed here in the U.S., and most of them are corn-fed and stuff like that, whereas over there, a lot of them are still grass-fed. Grass is what cattle were raised on, okay? Lots and lots of years ago. Stop and think about that. So they get a more yellow butter. Now, it is more expensive. Yes, it is. And that's kind of what brought this all on. But I like the flavor of the Irish butter. I feel that I cut enough corners other places that I can splurge on myself. But what I want you guys to realize is that if you're using butter, even if it's the American-made butter, and you're not using margarine, which is like almost paint thinner or something like that, I don't know. It's like one molecule from plastic. I see this all the time, and it shares ingredients with paint or paint thinner. I'm not sure which it is. And it just, you know, if you look at the ingredients on margarine compared to the ingredients on butter, I'm putting butter in my body, whether it's the light yellow or whether it's the dark yellow. So that's kind of one of my points too. It's a situation of you don't have to buy the most expensive item on the shelf. Because a switch from margarine even to the cheap butter is better than staying with the margarine. So, you know, if you're using margarine and you want to make a shift to butter, but you can't afford the Irish butter, the shift at least to the butter from the US is going to make you a healthier person than staying with the tub of margarine, okay? That's my biggest point, okay? We get to choose what we want, but even in healthy foods, there are expensive and there are cheaper. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, with my sweeteners. Some of them are expensive, some of them are not as expensive. But for our lifestyle, regular cane sugar is out of the question. So then I have to choose, where do I want to go after that? How much do I want to spend? And that's what you get to do. So anyway, hi Elaine. So like I was saying, guys, I like sharing this information. And if you're a little bit confused about it, message me. We can talk a little more. But I think the big thing is maybe if you want to go back and watch this from the beginning, write things down, bullet point it out. Maybe I'll try to get it bullet pointed myself, probably not tonight, but in the coming days here, and get that shared into my group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. These tips right here that I had on my notepad that can help you eat low carb without breaking the bank, okay? And don't forget, I'm going to get that water challenge all prepped up. I want to have as many people join as I can. So I'd love to have you guys join the group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. If you need information on the supplements that we know and we love, and we just, they're amazing, phenomenal. Drop info in the comments and I'll get back to you about that. So I'm going to get on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope it's been fantastic. And I hope you have a great week upcoming. So we'll chat with y'all later, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate y'all so much. And you know what? Smile. Pass that smile on. Somebody might need it. We'll chat later. Bye-bye.